It's been moment after moment of like brands and people that I've looked up to for so many years showing up and saying, listen, we see what you're doing. We believe in what you're doing. What's your price? I've got a wedding venue. I've got a dress. Well, I don't have a dress. I have a wedding venue. I have everything in order. I just don't have a groom, and that's kind of sad. I was sitting with my dad in the garage the other day, and this was after I think it was the day after I met Ndavi, and I was telling my dad about my week and all the crazy events that had happened in that one week, and he was like, I actually been meaning to tell you that I haven't seen you this happy in a very long time. You look free. You look like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulder. And for me, it was just like yeah, dog, a weight has been lifted off of my shoulder, because for the first time in my life, I'm actually facing my power. For the first time in my life, I'm pursuing everything that is burning on the inside of me, and not like everything is not the bad things, just the good things, just the holy, pure child of God things that are burning on the inside of me. And it's all just working together. You know that scripture that says all things work out for the good of those who love God? Literally. And ever since I made the radical decision to take God at his word and take God seriously and just pursue what I believe God is putting on my heart, it's literally been win after win after win. Have I been present in every single moment and every single win? 100% not. And that's definitely something that I want to work on in 2023, because I think I'm such a machine. Like, I'm so good at like working and putting stuff out and just like being around the clock that sometimes it's like, bro, pause and just look at how far you've come. And one of the first moments that forced me to pause was when the Nivea campaign dropped. When I dropped the reel where I did the collab with Nivea on the summer skincare range, I cried, guys. I crew, and I was so shocked because I was like, why are you crying? Like, pull yourself together. You're better than this. You're better than this. Stop crying. But I was crying because I was overwhelmed at how full circle my entire life had come. I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch the video where I spoke about my upbringing as a child. So this is like 2020, I think. I published the video it's August 9th. That's when I published the video. So either August 9th, it was August 9th, 2020. I published the video on growing up dark-skinned and all the different insecurities that I had pertaining my body, pertaining a whole lot of different things. And when it came to finding my confidence, one of the biggest game changers and role players was Nivea. And not because they came and said something to me or a representative from Nivea did something, but I just remember one day, I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day, I'm talking 2013, 2014, if you turned on the television, there were always these gorgeous Nivea skincare ads where they would have these dark skin models, and most of them are like bold, and they're just like, they're oozing all this confidence, putting on this Nivea, and they show you how, I don't know if you remember, there's actually like an ad, but okay, no, that was Shield. But it was a thing, like it became a thing right about that time where they were using dark-skinned women like Lyra and these supermodel type women to just showcase confidence and beauty and all this stuff. And at the time, for me, looking at those people where I grew up insecure about the fact that I'm skinny for a black girl, I don't have the curves, I don't have the bums, I don't have the light skin, there's just so many things that I fall short of, that for me, I used to watch Miss Universe growing up all the time. I used to watch Miss South Africa, and that's why, like, if you ask me who was Miss South Africa 2010, I'll tell you Melinda Bam. Is it Melinda Bam or is she 2012? Hi, okay. Miss Universe 2012, Olivia Calpo, this dog, guys. Olivia Calpo, right? Like, I've been watching all this stuff for so many years. I used to watch fashion TV, like I was watching cartoons, just watching women walk up and down in the most fabulous garments because they looked like me, they were skinny like me, and they were dark skinned like me. I don't know why. Like, in the modeling industry, every single time I've seen a black woman, she's always been like dark skin and like really skinny. Well, I guess that's also just modeling industry politics, but yeah, for me, I found comfort in watching that because I was like, this is a chance for me to break away from not feeling like I'm good enough. Here I am watching someone who looks very similar to me be celebrated for her body, be celebrated for her skin, be celebrated for who she is and she looks like me. So that means there is a place where I can one day be celebrated. Did I ever think that I would like one day be entering Miss SA myself? 100% not. No, that was not the plan. It was literally just a matter of representation and feeling like, oh, this is a space where I belong. So I just wanna melt away into this world. And so when I got the email for Nivea, I think they emailed me in May of this year, so May 2022, and I saw the thing and I was like, no man, this is definitely a scam. I'm gonna ignore it. But as time went by, sorry, I just keep looking over my laptop because I'm like, did it just stop recording, or like, you know, is it like normal? Sorry, just kids walked into the restaurant and yeah, it's important to see kids. Anyway, politics for another day. Now I'm distracted because they're just standing there looking at me. Oh, I'm so weak. But like when they emailed me in May, so Nivea emails me and their whole campaign was centered around confidence. And they want me to go out there and display to people. First of all, it was a very big deal because, like I was saying, Nivea was the brand that helped me overcome, because I saw the Nivea girls that looked exactly like me growing up, and it was like, oh, she's so confident, she saw this, she saw that. If I can just use Nivea, I'm gonna ooze the same thing. So literally, I used to tell myself this in my head, like, be a Nivea girl. And that was one of my biggest goals as a child in grade 7, particularly. I remember I had this loofah. And you know the Nivea orange flavor, I think it's called Happy. It was called Happy and something. But the other day I like looked at the bottle and it doesn't say Happy whatever anymore. But it was called Happy something. Anyway, that bottle. And I was at a sleepover with one of my dark-skinned friends. And I remember she was like low-key judging me because she was like, you just bath with a loofah? Like you don't use a fast lap? No, you're supposed to use a loofah and a fast lap. Ew, Barbara. So that will definitely be engraved in my brain for the rest of my life. But I remember at that time, for me, it was like, bro, what do you mean? Can't you see I'm a Nivea girl? I literally am using a loofah because I'm a shower gel girl, because I'm a Nivea girl. Get it together, like, get into it. And that was like, although it started off very much as me putting on a show, like I put on the Nivea because I was like, oh, then it will make me this girl and I can step out and be confident because I used Nivea. Over time, it just became who I was, and I just became a confident person. And probably the next episode that you see, I will deconstruct confidence for me and how I found my confidence. So we're not going to get into that. But it's just so crazy to think about. I'm like, I was so shook when I got the email, because I was like, what are the odds that I'm now in a place where I'm so confident I've even forgotten that I don't use Nivea because I don't know, like there's a reason why I use these toiletries, but it was like, it's just a force of habit, so I just continue buying Nivea. But I just don't put it on in the morning to make myself confident anymore. It's just who I am. And now we've even gotten to the point where Nivea, the brand, has sought me out. They're emailing me and they want me to be the Nivea girl that I used to look up to when I was a kid. Like, I get to be that for someone else. That is so crazy. So I was shocked. I was overwhelmed. I was happy. I was proud. I was shocked. Just shocked. I was just shocked. Like, so Nivea looks at me and they're like, she's a Nivea girl. I'm like, that's crazy, guys. I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but I'm trying to give you the picture of just how crazy it is, that it's just so crazy, and how full circle it all came to be. And it happened in the year that I had decided I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to pursue my passions with everything that I have in me. If I'm going to be poor, that's fine. If it's not fine, it's not fine, God. It's not fine. I'm not your strongest soldier. But I'm like, does being a content creator offer me the same security that being an engineer does? 100% not. Has COVID-19 taught me that regardless of what profession you're in, your life can change in an instant? 100%. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do, because I think as long as I know that I've put my heart into it, I've got a spirit of excellence, I'm pursuing it with everything inside of me, there is no doubt that I'll be successful in whatever field I choose to be in. So that's fine. But yes, that was the really big thing. Nivea for me, just like, listen, I just was dead. I was dead. Sony giving me a camera as well. I didn't pay for this camera, if you don't know. They literally gave me this camera. So that was also crazy. It's like, it's been moment after moment of like brands and people that I've looked up to for so many years showing up and saying, listen, we see what you're doing, we believe in what you're doing, what's your price? We'll match it. We will match it. We will pay you whatever you want. And I was like, you guys are going to pay me whatever you want? Obviously, I invoiced them. I was like, I was humble. I was humble. But that also for me, it was like, look, even if you didn't pay me, I would do it for free. And that's how I know I'm in the right place, because you could pay me 5 rand. Don't pay me 5 rand, but you could pay me 5 rand. You could pay me 12,000 rand. You could pay me 100,000 rand. And I would still do what I'm doing right now wholeheartedly. I can't say that for a lot of other things, but with this one thing, it's true. And so, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel free, for lack of a better term. I feel like I've been unchained, and I feel like I'm only limited as far as I limit myself, which is scary to think of, but it's really cool. And yes, I hope that answers your question. It's been 28 minutes, so I'm gonna mention 2 things that I think are really important, that I really want you to know. Okay, 3 things, maybe 5 things, we'll see, before I leave. And the first thing that I want to chat to you about is the Mancave, because I always get questions about the Mancave, and I always get DMs about the Mancave, and I just think it's easier if I just answer the question in a video, and I can just point everyone to the video instead of like suffering through explaining myself over and over and over again to people. So yeah, maybe let's start with the Mancave. So I don't know if you guys were aware, but one of the members of the Mancave and I were in a courtship. You can call it a courtship, special friendship, boyfriend-girl friendship. We definitely were 100% working towards something. And when that fell through and that didn't kind of like, that ended, because the Mancave is his friendship group as well. And I think boys rock with boys and girls rock with girls. A couple of them made the decision. It's so sad, actually. It's so sad because we didn't actually have like a formal conversation. Because obviously, like, a breakup is a breakup. That's a formal conversation. We're gonna have that conversation. But with everyone else, it was kind of like, well, not everyone, but the few people, it was just kind of like, oh, you've unfollowed me on social media. Oh, you're not talking to me anymore. Oh, this is crazy and so sad. But life moves on. And so, yeah, I think people make their choices. People are allowed to make their own choices. So I think also just because our friendship is not where it used to be, working with them just doesn't make sense, because then that means that we are acting or something. Not that we hate each other. Please don't get me wrong. Don't blow this out of proportion. Definitely don't hate anyone. Like, if I see them in the street, we're walking with each other, we're laughing with each other, it's a good time. And I'm still friends with 3 of the guys in the Mancave. We're still very good friends. I literally spoke to one of them yesterday. So everything is fine there by the Mancave. It's just some people have decided that they are going to support their friend during the time of his breakup and have decided to take that path. And that's fine. That's normal. Like, your boyfriend's friends are not your friends, guys. When you guys break up, they will leave you to go heal your boyfriend. So yes, that's where the Mancave is. Don't ask me again. I don't want to answer this question. We're definitely not going to get into the details. Yeah, it's life. You change friends all the time. So that answers that. And then second question I want to answer that I get quite a lot is Tron Pyre. Where is Tron Pyre? What is happening with Tron Pyre? First of all, I absolutely adore Tron Pyre. He is amazing. One of the sweetest, most down-to-earth people that I know. But y'all know him as a baddie. So let's stick to that. Sorry, I'm definitely overthinking this. Listen, let me tell you guys a story for free, okay? Tron and I are really great friends. Like, Tron is so funny, but I'm also very funny. So guess what 2 funny people are gonna do? They're gonna laugh with each other. Are there prospects of a romantic relationship? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do we have good chemistry on camera? Yes. Is Tron attractive? Yeah. Am I attractive? Maybe. Who knows? I'm joking. But yeah, I think because we met on Looking for Mjolo, and that kind of was like the inception of my relationship with Tron. It's normal. Like, I get why everyone's like, oh, so are you dating now? Is it official now? Like, what's happening now? So, like, that definitely makes sense because we definitely met on Looking for Mjolo. But in terms of, like, exploring something in real life, I think we're just not going to do that. That's just not a thing we're going to do. But we do get along, and we're very good friends, and we have a really great working relationship. Like, I think Tron 100% gets things that I try to execute, like, creatively. So if there's something that's like, oh, and I'm not really sure about the concept, like, Tron is the one person that I trust. I can call and say, listen, I'm working with this agency. This is what they want me to do. Is this a price that I should give them? And trying to be like, no, this is not a price. You tell them that you want this. And oh, okay, thanks, Tron. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If he needs hands, I'm gonna give him hands. Yeah, like we're just really cool. I don't know what you want me to say. So if you see us in public, if you see us like on a video, if you just see us, just know like we're literally friends, and friends get ice cream together. Friends hang out together. That's what normal friends do. So yeah, I'm definitely not about to like hide him because we're not dating. He's my friend and we have a very good working relationship. So you might see him every now and then, but just know just know. It's funny because I'm like, every single time I meet someone in real life, their first question is always, how's Tron? And it's always like, am I Tron? Get out of here, child. So that was the second most frequently asked question. And now I forgot the third most frequently asked question. That is so sad. That is very sad. But I think we've got the major ones out of the way. Tron, the Mancave. I'm not seeing anyone right now. I'm not dating. Will I date soon? I don't know. My dad said I should wait until I'm 30. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how long that lasts. I'm not waiting for 30. That's not gonna happen. I've told him this also. Like, he definitely knows that I am most likely to get married next year. The only problem is I've got a wedding venue. I've got a dress. Well, I don't have a dress. I have a wedding venue. I have everything in order. I just don't have a groom, and that's kind of sad. Literally, guys, can I tell you, my real life crush, like, I don't even want to call him a crush because that's disrespectful, but the person who I'm like, ooh, literally, like, this boy doesn't see me at all, guys. He doesn't see me. So for as long as he doesn't see me, best believe that I'm going to be right here chilling. But also because I've now decided that I'm going to enter Miss SA next year, there's so much preparation that I need to do, just in terms of like, now I'm trying to remember all the preparation. Like getting my headshots done, because you know when you enter, you have to like send in pictures, you have to like write an essay, you have to do like a video that you post on social media. Like, there's so many different things. So I need to find out like who's gonna film my video, where am I gonna film my video, what am I gonna wear in that video. Am I gonna go with the afro? Am I gonna go with the blonde wig? Am I gonna go with my brown wig? Am I gonna go with the black wig? Am I gonna go in braids? Am I gonna go in locks? There's just so many different things, like, and then I need to get in order and sort of like fix. I need to have like my plans in place, like all the different little projects that I've been wanting to do. I need to fine tune those things and write them down. I need to register the companies. I need to do all these different things and have it done before I enter next year. So maybe I don't have time for a boyfriend, and that's the real truth. Is like, and I guess God has also said, I've said this before, like, this is the year of building. And I should have been focused on building all along. Did I get distracted and go on a couple of dates? I did get distracted, and I went on a couple of dates, knowing very well that I have made the personal decision to not get into a relationship this year. But yeah, we're here now, and I'm focused until my crush realizes that I'm the love of his life. Then I'm going to lose focus. It won't even be losing focus, because I will know it is God. It is God himself coming down from heaven to save us, because if he doesn't do it, we are in danger. Yes. So that answers that. And yeah, I will have you know, like, in terms of overcoming fears, now I've answered one person's question the entire podcast episode. But in terms of overcoming fears and stuff, my fear of leaving engineering was a very big fear, and I conquered it. My fear of people pleasing, I've conquered, and I'm fighting to continue to conquer every single day, because the urge to people please creeps up every now and then. It's the end of the podcast episode. I think I'm pretty chilled, so I think I'm overcoming my fear of vlogging and speaking in public, which is great. And what other fear are we conquering right now? My fear of not coming across as perfect. I don't think that fear has died yet. I'm probably going to look back. I'm not going to watch this video back because I know I'm going to cringe. So if you've seen me like pause and start all over a couple of times, it's because I told myself I would edit it out and I didn't. So yes, that's what's going on right now. I'm going to love and leave you because I definitely can ramble forever. It's been 40 minutes and I respect people's time. I don't... Guys, that's a fear. The next fear I need to conquer is the fear of wasting people's time. And you know this because you're going to see this also in the coming episodes of Vlogmas, I met Bonang Mateba, I met Verna, I met Davi, I met Steph, I've met so many, Pamela Mtanga, I've met so many like people, Tumi, Mudiko, I've met so many people that I have looked up to for so long. For some, it's been months, others it's been years. So like you and Davi and Pamela Mtanga, Pamela, we could say maybe a year and a little bit. Davi, just a little bit. You know what I mean? But like with your Verna, your Steph, your Bonang, it's been years. Like I'm like, wow, your work ethic, the things you're doing, you're amazing. And just meeting them, I always, if it's not in a social situation, so like, okay, last story, I promise you it's the last story. So one scenario I can give you is like the day I met Sibu Mbanza. And this was actually supposed to be an episode of Becoming, so we'll probably get into it on the episode of Becoming. But Sibu Mbanza is like one of the very first people to start a YouTube channel in our country. So I don't think there's actually a person who starts a YouTube channel and has no idea who Sibu Mbanza is. So I've always known who he is at the back of my head, but I didn't really like follow him on social media because I was like, okay, you are the grandfather of YouTube, what will we do? And then we had a YouTube event at the beginning of this year, and I think it was May this year as well, where Sibu Mbanza was hosting one of the like panel discussions or whatever, and literally afterwards he came and we had a conversation. I think I was with, I spoke to him and then spoke to him with Rory again, but he was just like with a lot of my friends, because also the YouTube community is so small that like we all kind of like know each other. Like if you know Tato, and Tato, guys, someone must give Tato his flowers. Maybe it should be me. Maybe I need to be the person who gives Tato his flowers. But like tangibly, I need to find a way to just thank that man for everything he's done for the creative community in our country. But people like Tato, if you know Tato, you end up knowing a lot of people. So like Zile, Neo, Keu, like everyone I've met through Tato. And so like when we go to YouTube events and PR events and stuff like everyone pretty much knows everyone. So I get there and it's pretty chilled vibes. My friends are everyone. So if Sibu's speaking to Tato, he's speaking to my friend. If he's speaking to, you're speaking to my friend, I can definitely like get in. But I was very curious to like hear what this guy's about. So I'm like, oh, grandfather of YouTube, let's see what he's about. So I got to know him a little bit, not got to know him a little bit, but like chatted to him a little bit. And I was like, he's actually a really cool person. And then I followed him. And then I realized that no, man, these people are people. These people are human beings just like us. Like he's a real life person with real life emotions and feelings. But now what happens is with someone who's a YouTuber, it's a lot easier. And in a setting like that, it's easier for me to walk up to like a Naledi Malela, Naledi M, and like start a conversation with her, because this is a YouTube event. We are colleagues and you're literally not going anywhere. We have to have a conversation right now. We're going to be forced to have small talk anyway. So we might as well have a good conversation while we're here. Do you know what I mean? So we chat, and then sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm like trying to keep it together, but my head is buzzing because I've been speaking for so long. I don't know if it happens to you, like if you speak for a very long period of time, like my head buzzes to the point where I can't focus anymore. But anyway, so yes, like in a YouTube setting like that, if I meet like a Sibu Mbanza, or I meet like a Naledi M, or I meet like a Nicolette Mashile, it's like I can have a conversation and my mind is pretty much at ease, because I don't feel like I'm wasting your time, because I know this event ends at 10, so you're gonna be here until 10. You have no choice but to have this conversation with me. But when I meet someone like Bonang, for example, I know that after Steve Madden at Mall of Africa, Bonang needs to go to Steve Madden in Sandton, you know, and she's a very busy lady. She's got a very busy schedule. I don't know how long she's scheduled to be here. I don't want to waste her time. I don't want to get in her way. So even if she tries to initiate a conversation with me, my biggest fear is wasting people's time and coming across as overbearing and just like, yo, you know, like people say, oh, that girl just doesn't know when to keep quiet. Like, oh, that girl just goes on and on and on forever. Like, doesn't she know, like, when she's overstaying her welcome? Doesn't she know when she's, like, that kind of thing? I don't want to overstay my visit. So I'm always like, if they try and start conversation, I'll be like, woo, yeah, entertain the conversation, then kill it. Then kill it and run away, because I don't want to do too much. So I did that when I met Bonang, and I did that when I met Ndavi, and I did that when I met Verna. And with Verna, it was even worse because he was coming to a restaurant. So already my mind is like, here is Verna at a restaurant. Am I really going to entertain a conversation with Verna? Not even like entertain. Am I really going to add more fuel to a fire and not give yes or no answers? No, don't do that. You're infringing on his personal time. He didn't come to this restaurant to have small talk with you. He came to this restaurant to restaurant. He came here to chill. In fact, if anything, he probably doesn't want to talk about work. And that's all you want to talk about. So what's your problem? Stop it. So like there's this little evil voice in my head every single time I meet people that I aspire to be like or admire their work ethic or their work in general. I'm just either very silent or I keep my answers very short because I just am afraid of coming across as way too much. Excuse me. And that's a fear that I need to overcome, especially because of the things that I want to do and pursue in my life leading up to the day I die, is that I can't be someone who just comes across as dismissive and comes across as cutting people off just because I'm scared of wasting people's time and overstaying my visits. So yeah, maybe I am an overthinker. Oh Lord, save me, Jesus. But thank you for sitting with me for 45 minutes. You've been the best company. People have come and gone. Do I feel awkward about the fact that I've been sitting here for long and forever? Yes, I feel awkward. But also, is the restaurant kind of empty? Yes, it's kind of empty. So no big deal, Barbara. You're not overstaying your visit. You're not wasting anyone's time. It's okay. It's okay. And I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you. And it's always fun to meet you. And you know what? If we do meet now, and you can tell that I'm panicked, just let me know. Like, yo, I'm not in a rush. I'm just at the mall. And I don't mind having a conversation with you. Because I literally will chill. Literally when we went to... Okay, now I'm telling you a more story. Okay, I promise you it's the last story. But after the Ndavi thing, the Miss SA thing, I met a girl who... I think she said she's subscribed to my channel. But I know her because I've seen her in the comment section. I've seen her everywhere. So I know she's... I don't know if she's subscribed, but I know she's on my channel. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And literally she was waiting for her mom to come and pick her up after the event. So she was going to go sit at a Starbucks by herself. But because I knew that she was going to be by herself and she had nothing else to do, I walked with her to Starbucks and we sat together and we just chatted for like an hour or so. And then I was like, listen, girl, I got to go to the gym. And listen, I thought your mom would be here after an hour, but she's not here. I'm going to have to leave you to wait by yourself. But that was because I was like relaxed. It was like, okay, I know I'm not wasting her time. She definitely needs the company. Not needs the company like that, but it's like it's nice to have company. Like if I'm waiting for my mom, it's nice to have company. So I stayed with her and I like hung out. So I'm always keen to hang out with people. I'm always keen to have conversations. The problem with me is I will tell you story upon story, just like I'm doing now. How many times have I said bye to you? I'll tell you story after story after story and dilemma after dilemma after dilemma. So it's always better for me to just not even get into the conversation instead of getting into a conversation that someone else feels trapped in. Which obviously isn't the case 100% of the time, but also you can't be that person for the rest of your life because you don't get to explain to everyone that, hey, I'm only doing this because I don't want to seem overbearing. So it's definitely a fear that I need to find the root of and then squash. Yeah, but I hope you're having a great day. I hope that you are... What do I hope for you, actually? Let's pause to think about this. I do hope you're having a great day, but I also hope that, like, wherever you are, that you don't feel like what I felt like a year ago. And if you did feel like what I felt like a year ago, I just think you should know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It definitely does get better. And something that God has been teaching me in this season of radical obedience is that even the silent prayers He's listening to, even the groanings of your heart, all the things that plague you at night, all the things that are eating away at you because of the stress that they bring in, the problems, the workload, just the trauma that you're facing in life, He knows about it and He hears that. So be intentional about the things that you meditate on. There's nothing that you can do about your situation, but there are things that you can change. And with the things that you can change, you have to just get to a point where you ask yourself, do I want to continue in this hole and wallowing in my self-pity? Or do I want to stand up, be bold enough to take accountability and make a decision to do something different? Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, the same results are going to come every single year. And you might leave one place and go to another place. You might move from Cape Town and come to Joburg, or leave Joburg and go to Australia. The same problems are going to repeat themselves, just in different situations and different scenarios, because you haven't dealt with the root issue and you haven't taken the step of taking accountability and making decisions for yourself. So don't run away from things. Don't dig yourself into more work in effort to distract yourself unknowingly, of course, from the thing that you're actually afraid to confront, which is yourself, which is your dreams, which is the potential that God has placed on the inside of you. Literally pray about it, bring it to God, ask Him for boldness, ask Him for courage, and God will answer you. God answers even the silent prayers. Go read 1 Samuel chapter 1 and 2. There's a story about a lady named Hannah, and her son is one of the main characters of the Bible, big main character in the Bible. But that son wouldn't have come if she wasn't intentional about seeking God at the rock bottom of her life. So be that person. I'm going to love and leave you now. Cheers.